Recording in progress.
We'll begin with the prayer. Oh, Sahana Bhavatu, Sahanam Punatu, Sahaviryam Karvavahai, Tejasvinavadhitamastu Mavid Vishavahai. Oh, Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Sarve Santu Niramaya, Sarve Trani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschit Dukhat Bhag Bhave. We pray for the happiness of one and all. May everyone be comfortable and happy at all levels of the personality. May we see that which is auspicious and divine. May there be no suffering anywhere. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Does anybody have any question? Verse 31, he said, those human beings who constantly practice this teaching of mine, full of Shraddha, without cavilling, they too are liberated from actions. So, the teaching of verse 35, it's considered to be the essence of Karma Yoga. That will liberate us. The opposite of liberation is to get caught up in vasanas. As long as we have vasanas, we are helplessly, vasanas will manifest as thoughts. Thoughts will become desires. Desires will become action. Of course, we got to use our intellect to ensure that we don't encourage the wrong type of thoughts into desire. Repeated thoughts becomes our desires. When the desire is too strong, it almost helplessly comes out as an action. But with the intellect, we can prevent the desire from manifesting into action. So, which thought we will encourage, which thought will discourage, which desire or thought will manifest into action, that is completely in our control because we have the intellect. Through the intellect, we access what is called Purushartha. Purushartha is self-effort. We cannot really understand Purushartha. It is something that gives human being the capacity to control or change our vasanas. Vasanas is our inherent nature. Vasanas will helplessly manifest into thoughts, desires, and if you want, into action as well. If we are only vasanas, then we cannot change. The fact that a good person may become evil or an evil person may become divine, the fact that we are able to increase or decrease our vasanas, that necessarily means that there is something beyond vasanas. That is self-effort, capital S. The small s self-effort is the effort that we exert with our body, mind, intellect. With the body, we put in physical effort. With the mind, emotional effort. With the intellect, intellectual effort. But that's along with the vasanas. The moment we are trying to change our vasanas, anything that we do apart from vasanas, we are accessing self-effort. No other creature can live apart from its nature. A tiger will be a tiger all its lifetime. An elephant will be an elephant all its lifetime. There is no such thing as evolution or devolution. There is no such thing and one elephant became a good elephant, another elephant became a bad elephant. They just go along with the nature. Human beings alone have choice of action. This is because of this capacity called Purushartha, self-effort, which gives us the capacity to function independent of our vasanas. How do you access it? Through the intellect. The moment the thought arises, the intellect has a choice to encourage it or discourage it. The moment we go against our vasanas, act apart from vasanas, we have accessed Purushartha, self-effort. So now what is Karma Yoga? He says, if we are performing actions with a self-centered, selfish, egocentric motive, egocentric attitude. So it's the attitude that makes a difference, not what we do. It doesn't matter what we do, but how we do it. If we are acting selfishly, with egocentric desires, our vasanas will increase. We will remain caught up in thoughts, desires, actions. Actions means we will need experiences. Stretching that, we understand we'll remain caught up in the cycle of birth and death. Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam. This is the normal life of increasing vasanas. Human birth is an extraordinary opportunity, a divine opportunity to exhaust our vasanas. So that means we need to function opposite of selfish, egocentric activity. And that's where the verse 30 says, pitch up a goal, a higher goal, which benefits a larger circle. If you're only thinking of yourself, family. If you're already thinking of the family, the community, the company, whatever is your nature is going to come now. Verse 35. Probably next week we'll take it up. Swadharma and Paradharma. Whatever is your nature, in that, using that nature, perform activities, wishing the welfare of the world. Let the body be in dynamic action. Let the mind surrender its likes and dislikes and be in the present. Apply the intellect, not to allow the mind to go into the worries of the past, anxieties of the future. Let the mind in the present. We generate energy through dynamic action and keeping the mind in the present. The gross intellect is ensuring the body and the mind is functioning towards the goal. The activities of the body and the mind are functioning towards the goal. The subtle intellect, that's a spiritual personality. The subtle intellect remembers the divine self. Without the self, the body, mind, intellect cannot function. And slowly you pitch up self as the goal itself. I need to understand the self. I need to merge with the self. When we perform such actions unselfishly, without ego means I'm just an instrument in the hands of the divine. I'm just an instrument in the hands of the divine. Engage in unselfish activity, keep the mind in the present. Such actions will, he says, liberate you. If you perform this with devotion, don't belittle the knowledge, have respect for the knowledge, full of Shraddha. Said Shraddha is a fantastic quality of a human being to finish what has been started. It is the determination, the drive, the devotion towards whatever we do. A commitment. So it's all intellectual as well as the mind is also inspired. There is no giving up until the goal is reached. A dedication, a commitment towards your goal until you reach it. It could be a worldly goal or it could be the goal of self-realization. It is Shraddha that makes a difference. That ability of the intellect to receive the information, to keep reflecting, contemplating about it, thinking about it until the information brings about a transformation. Until we live it, you pursue it. So that fantastic quality of a human being is Shraddha. With faith, we start the journey. Shraddha helps us to finish the journey. As Rabindranath Tagore says, you are not able to see the end. The bird feels the light while the dawn is still dark. The dawn has not yet come, but it sings feeling the light. So something tells you that this is a goal worth pursuing. There must be something in this. We need extraordinary Shraddha in the spiritual aspect, in the spiritual field. We cannot be sure that there is enlightenment. There is a fourth state. It is sheer faith. The faith comes when we understand different masters in different periods of history. Where is Valmiki? Where is Ashtavakra sage Ashtavakra? Where is Ramana Maharishi? Where is Nisargadatta? Where is Atukaram or Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Swami Ramatirtha? They never communicated with each other, but they all, from the depth of their experience, they talked about this state of Paripurna. So having faith in these galaxy of sages and saints, we start the journey, but it's Shraddha that will take us towards the end. So each one has to develop Shraddha on its own. In the 17th chapter, Sri Krishna says, you are what your Shraddha is, not your Vasanas. Like I may have a Vasana for cricket, I may have Vasana for tennis, I may have Vasana for football, or I may have Vasana for accounts. Where my Shraddha is for Vedanta, you are what your Shraddha is, whatever you pursue. So with Shraddha, we have to practice Karma Yoga, then Vasanas will get exhausted. Yeah, Namrata.
Yeah, thanks for that explanation. Just one quick clarification. So, Shraddha would be the faith, like you said, with which we start the journey. And then would it be Dhriti that enables us to consistently stay on that path?
Yeah.
Hmm?
Shraddha is Dhriti plus a bit more. You can be consistent, but then may give up halfway. Na? Shraddha will ensure you don't stop till you reach the goal, till the information brings about a transformation. Shraddha is what a river has. It goes on and on and on. Consistency, see, I can be consistent for a month. Somebody else is consistent for 6 months. But if the goal is not reached, then you don't have the Shraddha. Shraddha is no giving up till you have achieved the goal. Nothing can stop you. No failure, no obstacle. You find your enthusiasm, you find your drive, you find your motivation. And this has to come from your own thinking. Knowledge helps, but ultimately your own thinking has to inspire you, motivate you. What they say, self-talk or self-motivation. Through your own thoughts, you have to lift yourself up and ensure the dhriti is steadfastness, consistency till the goal is reached. So dhriti is just consistency. Shraddha is consistency till the very end, till you achieve it. And whatever your Shraddha is, you ultimately become that. That's why he says ultimately just having vasanas is not enough. For example, in cricket, in nowadays, Vinod Kambli and Sachin Tendulkar, some of them said Kambli had he was more talented. At least he took off really fast. But he did not have that Shraddha to maintain consistency. The discipline was not there. But Sachin Tendulkar had that discipline. So Shraddha gives you the achievement. Like dancing while music is playing without the aim for a spot on the dance floor. Nice. Right. Yeah. So marker black nahi aaya. So the goal is to reach the destination, but you enjoy the journey. A person who is frustrated or feels the journey itself as a burden, he will not be able to uh, have Shraddha. So we say it's difficult in the beginning, but once you start enjoying the process, the journey itself becomes entertaining. And then the destination happens. It just happens. So uh, that's why we say you choose something which you're inspired about, you're moved about, you're passionate about. Then the mind cooperates. The mind enjoys the process. It's coming. Swadharma will come. Let's do verse 32. We'll chant it once.
ये त्वेतदभ्यसूयन्तः नानुतिष्ठन्ति मे मतम् सर्वज्ञानविमूढांस्तान् विद्धि नष्टान चेतसः.
Verse 31 said, those who follow what will happen. If you follow verse 30 with devotion, with Shraddha, you will be liberated from actions. Means vasanas will get exhausted. We will slowly unfold ourselves. We will complete the mission of life, which is to find absolute happiness within oneself. So that's the good side. Verse 32 is now, it's giving the law. It's not like a threat. It's not like Krishna is angry that if you don't follow my teaching, this will happen. This is the law. Those who carp at this teaching of mine, they belittle it. They don't have a value for it and do not practice it. Deluded in all knowledge and senseless know them to be ruined. So it's a very sort of a harsh truth, saying if you don't follow, if you continue being self-centered, if you continue being egocentric, if you don't have Shraddha, if you do one day you're doing something, the other day you're doing something. So just the opposite. The mind is all over the place, worried about the past, anxious about the future, following likes and dislikes, not attempting to develop the intellect. The intellect is not playing its role of managing the personality. No concept of self. There is no subtle intellect being aware of the self. So all this is opposite. And unfortunately, because of lack of knowledge, see, if this was taught in schools, everybody would follow it. Most people will follow it, except that few backbenchers. Thank you. Except few backbenchers. But now that it's not available, it's up to us to live it and share it with others. See, no master will curse anybody. Why would a good master means he's a good human being? Why would he curse anybody? See, the curse or the blessing, we bless ourselves, we curse ourselves. But blessing still has an effect in the sense of when we go and prostrate or bow down to elders or to a powerful like a guru or a teacher whom we respect, when they say something good, whatever it is, something may you be successful, it's a very powerful boost. Not only they are so pure that their sankalpa may come true. So it's almost like you're encouraged to do something good, do something positive. The encouragement itself pushes you. And if they have said something good, we believe that, they are so pure that it can't be wrong. But ultimately, it's subjective. We have to raise ourselves by ourselves. They may bless us, but if we don't put in the right effort, just because they have blessed, it will not make a big difference in our life. Similarly, no good human being, nobody who is worthy of worship will curse. He is only seeing the present cause we are putting in and is predicting the effect that this is going to happen in the future. If you don't follow this, if you live a self-centered, egocentric life, you will be ruined. Means there will be a lot of agitation. See, there is no such thing as complete destruction. They may see like this, but it's not. There is no such thing as complete destruction. So in that sense, always remember these two examples. The reality, Brahman, can be taken as the ocean, right? And we are all waves. Temporarily, the wave arises wherever there is ocean. See, in a bucket of water, there will be no waves. Very interesting. I don't know why. But wherever there is a vast sheet of water, the nature of ocean or sea is to produce waves. Constantly, the waves are produced. Wave arises out of the ocean. It exists into the ocean. It cannot remain in that condition. It's a question of time. It will go back. Similarly, imagine Brahman or the reality as a huge fire. We are all sparks. Each spark is also, each wave is water. Each spark is also fire. It manifests. It sparkles for a while. It gives light for a while and then goes back into the unmanifest. Similarly, we are a wave out of that ocean. We believe that there is individuality. This individuality by not following the karma yoga, unselfish actions without ego, we are delaying the merger back. While we delay, there could be a lot of suffering, a lot of agitation by not knowing the self, but not identifying with the self, by performing actions which will promote attachment to the body, mind, intellect. It's almost a state of a lot of agitation. And then the person starts questioning, why is this happening to me? Why is this happening to me? And by God's grace, some guidance comes, and then we again have to get back to the right path. But there is no such thing as absolute destruction. It is impossible. Because there is only Brahman. We are all, even now we are all Brahman. We are all the Supreme Divine, but we are not aware of it. So to become aware of it, we need to follow all these teachings. Because the opposite of that promotes attachment to the body, mind, intellect. The self-centeredness means what is in it for me. Me means my body, my mind, my intellect. So In that sense, actually, Vedanta is the formula for absolute selfishness. Absolute selfishness means, how do you see? We all want to take care of ourselves. It's not that we don't want to take care of ourselves. Now, are you directly taking care of your body, mind, intellect at the cost of others, or are you using your body, mind, intellect to serve the world? Indirectly, you will be protected. You think of the self and operate unselfishly, you will be protected. The power, the laws of nature will protect you. So if you really want to take care of yourself, don't think about yourself, think of others. Think of a higher goal, think of the absolute, think of the supreme. So don't fall in verse 32, fall in verse 31. Don't belittle the knowledge. Practice it as much as possible. Don't be deluded, otherwise you will be destroyed. Means a state of almost endless suffering, like hell. Bhajagovindam uses the word Nadakini Guda. Nadakini Guda means captive in hell. Heaven and hell are not, doing in the chapter 8, no? Heaven and hell are not geographical places. They are states of mind. It may seem that externally things are hell, but you can, if you have the knowledge, you can still find peace within yourself. Relatively, by applying the intellect and understanding things as they are, endure it. At the absolute level, nothing can affect the self. The magnet can only affect the metal. Magnet cannot influence the wood. The wood in us is the supreme self, the Atman. The metal is the body, mind, intellect. So body, mind, intellect will get affected by the world. Shift your focus of attention to the self. That's why these classes are so helpful. Not only it inspires us to shift our focus of attention, to think of the self, remember the self, be aware of the self, rest of the time. Slowly it should build up. Slowly it should build up. You don't have to force it. Sometimes we say, synchronize it. In the routine activities, you're going for a walk, taking a shower, combing your hair, something each one has to find. Waiting in the red light, stuck in the red light. In the red light, amazing, no? Even 120 seconds seems like, oh my God, 120 seconds. Think of the self. Anyway, you can't do anything. Think of the self. So, it can be a mechanical activity. Synchronization is mechanical initially. And then you're studying the philosophy, you're learning the philosophy, you're trying to understand the philosophy. The both will merge. The mechanical activity will become an activity with feeling and understanding. And the understanding slowly percolates everywhere. I'm just playing a role, whatever be the script. Let me play my role to the best of my ability, unselfishly, without ego. So these are all very sacred teachings, sacred information. So we should have that sense of gratitude and practice it as much as possible. Verse 33.
सदृशं चेष्टते स्वस्याः प्रकृतिर्ज्ञानवानपि प्रकृतिं यान्ति भूतानि निग्रहः किं करिष्यति.
We'll chant it once more.
सदृशं चेष्टते स्वस्याः प्रकृतिर्ज्ञानवानपि प्रकृतिं यान्ति भूतानि निग्रहः किं करिष्यति.
Even a person of knowledge acts in accordance with his own nature. Beings follow their nature. What can restraint do? These verses, even 32, 33, they are controversial in the sense, if people who want to criticize the Gita, they will pick up these verses and say, oh, Krishna says, if you don't follow him, you will be ruined. He is just like a scientist saying the law. It's like a teacher or a parent saying, if you don't study, you will fail in the exam. Oh, you are making me fail in the exam. He's just stating a law. Or a scientist saying that if you jump out of the balcony, the law of gravitation will embrace you. Oh, how can you say like that? You're just stating a law. If if you don't follow certain things, if you're too attached to the body, mind, intellect, you're too self-centered, mind will be disturbed. In that sense, you'll be ruined. Here again, it's again this, I won't give 32, 32 you have to avoid. Don't fall into verse 32 category. But 33 gives a very, very deep insight. Even if you have knowledge, you will be what you are. You will follow your nature. What can restrain do? How much of, basically, it's, if you read it casually, it will say that how much ever you try to change, you will be the same person. Arey sir, then what are we doing in these classes? Are we not going to change? See, definitely we can change, but change does not happen overnight. It happens gradually over a period of time. So we need to, this appears very, very pessimistic. How much ever I put in effort, I will continue to remain the same person. And sometimes we feel like that also because the change is not visible. If I'm putting in so much effort, I'm still the same. I'm putting in so much effort, I'm still the same. See, let me show you a graph. So this is graph. Let's say the what axis? This is x-axis, no? What axis is this? This is x-axis. The vertical is, let's say, x-axis. And the horizontal, let's say, is y-axis. Let's say x-axis measures our growth. Okay. I don't know, Stephen, you did something, but it's okay. X-axis is measuring our growth. In terms of the more we grow, not only we'll find peace, we'll be less agitated by the world. And let's say the y-axis is the time and effort you spent in learning these higher values of life, in learning, gaining spiritual knowledge and practicing it. It's literally to 10 to 15, or let's say 15-20% of the knowledge, which is, let's say, few months, few weeks of gaining this knowledge, listening to the scriptures, you will find almost 70 to 80% of your personality changing. There's a meteoric growth. But to deal with that balance 20%, it will take it takes like a lot of time. It requires the remaining 80% of knowledge. So initially we change a lot. Initially, by listening to the scriptures, many things we can quickly change. That's when we are. So initially the graph is very, what you call, steep. The improvement is steep. Then it becomes like a plateau. Then it's struggle. So what it means is the knowledge is so powerful. The superficial difficulties, the unnecessary problems, they go away very, very, very easily when you gain a little bit of philosophy. But then the deep-rooted tendencies or something like self-realization, you just want to be happy in the world, it's not difficult. You want harmony in relationships, you want success, you want to be just peaceful, it is not difficult. Few weeks is more than enough just to be happy. But to realize the self, it's like asking how much time I'll need to repay my loan. It depends on how big the loan is and how much are you putting in effort. So we say don't get into the frequency that will take many, many lifetimes. You can take it like, I put in effort this lifetime, next lifetime I can realize the self. The other day I was telling somebody that we're just friends, we're talking, and this person says, Are, she will take a lot of time, many, many lifetimes. I said, tell him you will just take 24 years. Now, 24 years is a lot of time. So if you're in your 40s or 50s, 24 years means I just need 24 years to realize itself. It's conceivable. Suddenly there was enthusiasm. It seems doable. Suddenly from many lifetimes, it became okay. 24 years of a lot of effort. So don't worry about the result. Spiritual path is like, climbing a building with infinite floors. Now, if you keep looking for when will I reach, you get frustrated. And then you look here and there, you go and open one door of something materiality or sensuality or something, and again slip, again you go down, again we start climbing. So we say enjoy the climb, keep climbing, suddenly you're at the top floor. So don't look for results. Anyway, it's not easily visible. Even physical changes, if a person is not fit and he wants to become fit, it's not that 1 week of gym or 1 week of training and suddenly you can notice the change. Physical changes are difficult to notice. It's not that it's not noticeable. Maybe 3 weeks of effort you can see a difference. Maybe 2 weeks of effort you can see a difference. But it happens slowly. Now changing the mind, it takes even more slower. It's not visible. Development the intellect, it's very interesting. No, all countries, education is like class 1 to 10, then +2, then 3 years of graduation. Then only you say, okay, this person maybe we can find a job or he can do something. Everywhere it's 14 years, intelligence. So intellectual growth takes that much of time. Now spiritual growth is the subtlest. We don't know how much we have already done in the past. You don't have to be harsh on yourself. I'm starting the journey now. Maybe you've already started. We don't know how much longer it'll take. The best is to do your best now and find supreme joy in it. There is we chant the invocation, no? Om Sahana Bhavatu. It's from the Kena Upanishad. The Kena Upanishad is one of the most powerful and popular Upanishads. So the invocation of the Kena Upanishad is this: Om Sahana Bhavatu, Sahana Gunattu, Saha Viryam Karvavahe, Tejasvi Navadi Tamastu, Mavid Vishavahe. So one of the lines there is, of course, we know the meaning every time it comes on the slide. There is a line. Maybe both strive together. The teacher also is trying his best. The students also is trying their best. The enjoyments, so maybe both strive together. The previous line is maybe enjoy. The enjoyment is in the effort itself. The effort itself becomes enjoyable when dedicated to a supreme ideal. The joy is in striving and struggling and crossing the hurdles on the spiritual path. If we are in this zone, it's a question of time we will reach the ultimate, but it takes time. So compared to all other knowledge of Brahman or knowledge of God, Atma Vidya, Brahma Vidya, there is a difference. If I want to learn about there are certain knowledges where you become something. There are certain knowledges you just objectively learn. If I want to learn about this cup, it's not that I become the cup. Something. But in Atma Vidya, we want to become it. So the 3 phases in which the ignorance of the self manifests. Remember, we have the most intimate relationship with the self. The fact that we are conscious of our experiences. You're conscious of what you're hearing, conscious of what you're seeing, conscious of any form of consciousness, any form of awareness is because there is a divinity enlivening us. There is a divine power that makes you conscious of what you perceive, what you see here. There is a divine power that makes you conscious of your thoughts. So consciousness is there. That consciousness is absolute bliss. Satchitanand, Paramanand, Akhandanandam, unbroken bliss. But we are not aware of it. There is ignorance. This ignorance, the Upanishad says, manifests as I don't know, I don't understand, and I don't experience. I don't know, I don't understand, I don't experience. So the formula given to remove the ignorance is Shravana, Manana, Nidhi Dhyanasana. Shravana, Manana, Nidhi Dhyanasana. Shravana is, earlier in the good old days, there was no paper, so it was listening. But today it can include listening and reading. The listening and reading, it's not difficult. You read the book on your own, you listen to the classes, then you can give lectures also. You know the information. I don't know has become I know. It's not difficult. But the next phase is what this verse is addressed to. You can be a man of knowledge. You can know the scriptures. You can quote the scriptures slightly better than the enlightened person. But he is enlightened. We are following our nature. What will restrain do mean? What will force do? The second phase is where the challenge is. The real challenge is in second phase. I know it, but I don't understand it. In philosophy, it is said, if you understand it, you live it. In the sense, you will truly know it when you live it. Till then, we have to do manana. Manana is constant reflection, contemplation, thinking over it, weighing the pros and cons. Knowledge is, I have tea in my cup. Knowledge is, I want to make it sweet. Knowledge is pouring the sugar. Will it become sweet? No, you have to stir it. So sugar is, the cup is not sweet because there is no sugar. You add sugar. Has it become sweet? No, the cup has sugar, but it is not sweet. Then you have to stir it. Stir it. The stirring is manana. That the teacher really, beyond a point, we cannot do. The textbook, the teachers can give us information. But for that transformation, we have to think on our own. By giving different angles, we are also trying to make you think, but that thinking has to come from within. It is manana that converts the knowledge into wisdom. Knowledge is objective, wisdom is subjective. Knowledge is information, wisdom is transformation. Knowledge is sight, wisdom is insight. These are nice words, but it helps. Knowledge is tuition, wisdom is intuition. Wisdom is practical when you actually live it. So to the extent we are not living it, you can safely tell yourself, I know it, but I have not understood it. See, of course, we say that slowly, do it slowly. You don't have to do it suddenly. Give it up slowly. Withdraw a little bit. That formula is also given. The scriptures only say, give it slowly. So that giving up slowly is the process of knowledge converting into wisdom. In a way, we say, if you're genuinely trying to give it up through understanding, not as a frustration, not as oh, he has told me, therefore I'll do it. It is through an understanding, something triggers you, inspires you to withdraw from the lower, to seek the higher. But if there is wisdom, you will clean drop it. For example, I'm drinking this. Somebody says, Basab, there is poison in it. Really? Okay, I'll slowly give it up. I've not understood that it is poison. If I really understand it's poison, you will clean drop it. What is Sarita's question? No. Sarita, did you ask a question? I saw some question, chat. No. Okay. So that's the challenge. And it can be a very, if you don't study this verse, if you don't get this insight, it can be very frustrated. Sir, I know it all, but I can't live it. I'm still following my past nature. That's the way it is. The past vasanas have been accumulated over a long period of time. Now, suddenly listening to the scriptures or reading it, it will not bring about a transformation. It's like a gold on a mule's back. So it's a frustrating period. This has to be tackled with more contemplation, reflection, more thinking. We can't operate at the level of vasanas. Operating at the level of vasanas means an unmanifest. Operating at the level of vasanas means you're sleeping. How can you do anything in sleep? We can only operate at the level of thoughts. Change your thoughts, work on your thoughts. That's what we're doing in this. This is like one of the subtlest activities where we are, with devotion, with respect, we are listening to some subtle thoughts, some divine thoughts, some philosophical thoughts with understanding. So you are changing your thoughts. If the thoughts change sufficiently, if there is enough manana, the vasanas will change. Till then, the old nature continues. So if you find yourself not changing, what you need to do, get back to Shravana Manana. That's why we are repeating. Initially, that's why repetition is important. We say wisdom, a person is wise when he is happily repeating. Till I reach the transformation. Shraddha is when your information, you continue to do Shravana and Manana till the information brings about a transformation. Either you choose a different path, there is no quick fix to changing yourself. Suddenly you can't change yourself. But when there is a wisdom, it immediately happens. So we give the example of titration. In titration, and it's a chemical experiment where in a beaker there is a colorless liquid, a colorless chemical. And there is something where another chemical is poured, that is also colorless. That chemical is poured drop by drop. Let's say in the 180th drop, the colorless liquid in the beaker will change its color. It will become pink or blue. Now you keep constantly pouring drop. You started the Vedanta classes. 1 drop, 15 drops, 20 drops, 30 drops, 100 drops. You will not see a change. So sometimes the movement on the spiritual path is compared to the movement of a frog. You know, the frog is sitting in a place for a long time and suddenly it takes a leap. So it's not that he's just sitting and doing nothing. See, if you sit and do nothing, if you are tamasic about your spiritual journey, no study, no effort to become more unselfish or less egoistic or be nice to others or control your negative emotions. If there is no effort, then to nothing will happen. But in spite of your best efforts, it may seem you have not changed. The same thing is bothering you or the same desire is continuing because the desire is very strong. Keep putting in that drop. Keep putting in that drop. Till 179, nothing happens. When that 180th drop comes, the 180th drop is not special. It is supported by all the 179 drops. Or, you know, there is in the corporate world, there is something called a holding company. Holding company is when the company has 151% shares. At 48% shares, you have no power almost. 48, 49%. So much effort to gain that 49% shares, there's no power. Or maybe at 50 equal power. But the moment you take that 51% share, you are controlling the whole company. So it's not that the 51% share has some extraordinary capacity. It's backed by the entire one. Every share mattered. Similarly, every drop matters. But we don't see the change till you have the Shraddha, the consistency to go when the change really happens. So you have to, Shraddha is the capacity to have faith in the unknown. You cannot know it. Self-realization, fourth stage, you cannot know it. So if you don't have faith, the Guru will say, wait for next Janma. Don't do it. Nobody is forcing you it. But if you have faith in the words of the great masters, then with Shraddha, do what? Shravana, Manana. Shravana, Manana. When it's wisdom, you will automatically live it. Till then, you can practice it, but it's not coming from within. The old nature continues. See another example in the Vedanta treatise, in the 17th chapter, Swamiji gives couple of examples. One example is, see, if the wall is white, we see the past. Past is called destiny, past is called prarabdha, what is already done. If the wall is white and I want to paint it blue, I go to the market. What is my self-effort? What is my present effort? I go to the market, I buy blue paint and I paint blue on the white wall. Immediately you change. So when they say that there are, in the 18th chapter, there is a verse which says, even to listen to the master with a pure mind, you can realize the self. So which mind? The mind is already ready. So he is already on the 179th drop. One drop from the Guru and you realize the self. But now if you are in the 30th drop, we will not know. Unfortunately, there is no passbook. Keep listening, keep thinking, varam varam. Adi Shankaracharya says, reflect over this varam varam. Till when? Till you have transformed yourself, till you have reached the goal. So with Shraddha. Now, if the past is white, you put blue, immediately it gets blue. But suppose the past is yellow. You are putting blue, but you are seeing green. Because yellow plus blue is green. But you keep on putting blue. Keep on putting blue. Slowly the green becomes greenish blue, bluish green, and blue will happen. So instead of getting a pessimistic attitude towards this verse, that pessimistic that, oh, I will not change. Yes, you will not change suddenly. Very, very interesting. The commentary is very, what you call, very kind and very helpful. He says, wisdom brings about a transformation. Knowledge loads you with information, which is necessary. But now you have a lot of information, but you're still the same person. So it can be very, very frustrating without this insight. You gain knowledge through Shravana, listening, which includes reading. Undigested knowledge merely weighs you down like bars of gold on the mule's back. I know everything, but I'm not able to live it. It's a very could be very frustrating period. You have to deal with it with a lot of maturity. Knowledge remains useless until you digest it, assimilate it, make it in your own. So this should become, those who have been attending classes for a long time, those who are new, Shravana will help a lot. But after a while, you have to get into serious manana. The process of assimilation is through manana reflection. By careful thinking, analysis, contemplation, the knowledge seeps in. Your personality absorbs it. It becomes part of you. Mere knowledge does not cause you to live those principles. But upon gaining wisdom, it automatically transforms itself. So change your thoughts. Practice whatever you can. If the Guru says, give, life is to give, try giving. But natural giving will come when it's wisdom. You will not take then. Impossible. Initially, there is a fight. You practice it. Initially, there is an effort. Then it becomes effortless. It becomes a state. When it's state, you're naturally living it. That's become wisdom. Till then, you practice it. During the period, during that gap, now that gap is, it depends. It's very, very subjective. Some people change very quickly. There's so many people. I'm not suggesting you should give up non-vegetarian or anything like that. But some people are so inspired. They hear one lecture about something triggers. They immediately change. For others, they have to do it slowly. So be open to change if you feel the change is for the better. But if you don't find the change, keep at it. Keep Shravana Manana, keep reflecting. During this period, the old vasanas continue their course. No restraint or restriction will change that. Sri Krishna educates you on the truth of life. Don't feel disillusioned when you find no improvement in your behavior just because you attended a few Vedanta classes. It's not easy, particularly if it's a deep-rooted nature. So what do you do? Fight that nature. Fight that nature means, recently I heard a good example. That old nature is like darkness. No, you can't fight darkness. Bring in light. Understand that this is something negative. I don't want to be stuck in it, but get on to the positive. Bring in light. So keep listening and keep studying, and wherever possible, at a comfortable strain, keep practicing it. In fact, once you understand the concept of wisdom, you should never feel discouraged when your spiritual practice does not show immediate results. That's why there are so few people who take to this slow but sure path. Everybody wants quick fixes. Quick fixes will fix you and it will go also. It will not fix you permanently. It's like Swami Ramatira, you want to see your reflection in the pond. The pond is covered with a thick green mantle of moss. You want to see, you go in and you sleep. By the time you see, the moss comes back. But it's a quick fix. In Vedanta, we say, take a little bit of moss. Be more unselfish. Be less egoistic. Think of the self. Attend the classes. Most important, study on your own. Think on your own. Make notes. Keep satsang. So all that is taking a little bit of moss. You're still not seen anything. But slowly and surely, the ignorance is gradually reducing. You have to have faith. You have to have Shraddha. Keep putting blue, finally the wall will become blue. 2 more examples. Let's say a person is stuck with the desire he has a very strong desire for drinking. And he feels, not others, he feels from within that I must get out of this habit of, I want to control this desire. I want to overcome this desire for drinking. You may find him drinking. It's very interesting. Very interesting means very, very insightful. And it will give you a lot of clarity as to how you should fight your own battle with whatever powerful desire you have. This person is stuck with the desire for drinking. He has decided he wants to control it, but you don't have any information. You are seeing him drinking. See, there are two different scenarios. One scenario is the person has a desire for drinking. He is going and drinking. He is happily encouraging the desire. He will remain caught up with it. In another scenario, he says, no, I think I'm wasting my money. I think I'm wasting my efficiency. I think it's harming my health. It's spoiling my liver. I think I should come out of it. I should stay away from my drinking friends. He's fighting. Maybe he's successful 1 day to avoid drinking, 2 day for avoid drinking. But because of the force of his vasanas, he's giving in, and you see him drinking. But fighting and ending up drinking, he is trying to slowly neutralizing the effort. He has to continue that effort. So slowly, he is strengthening his desire to overcome that. So I think if it put it in mathematics, it's clear. Let's say the desire for drinking is 100 units, right? So 100 units, what will happen? You go with that desire, you drink, you make it 101. You again drink 102. You again drink 103. That's the first case. In the second case, I must overcome it. 1 day he's successful. He's made it 101. Next day is successful. To avoid drinking, he's made it 100. Third day, he's fighting, but because of that pressure of 100, he ends up drinking. It becomes 101. That's where don't give up. Come back. Keep trying again. So it's like 4 steps forward, 1 step back. Now that 1 step back should not make you disillusioned. Relative wisdom is to go 4 steps forward because of the pressure of your oldness. That's what he's saying. It is one great saint, Swami Ramakrishna Paramahamsa said, spiritual journey is 4 steps forward, 1 step back. Now, when that 1 step back happens, that's when we say, what will your restraint do? You're following your nature. But if you keep going 4 steps forward, 1 step back, 4 steps forward, 1 step back, suddenly it'll become 10 steps forward, 1 step back. And over a period of time, you will go towards the goal. You will get that Nischala Tattvam. Nischala Tattvam means absolute steadfastness. Till you get to absolute steadfastness, try relative steadfastness. Encourage yourself. Don't get frustrated or delusion when the spiritual practice or your effort does not show immediate result. Particularly when it's tamas. Tamas is what? Laziness, indifference. It takes a lot of time to fight that battle. Rajas, you can put in effort and control. Sattva, there is no problem. Sattva is the best phase in our best mental phase. But tamas takes a lot of time. Now, if you are tamasic to your tamas, then you will remain tamasic. You have to fight it. So, if you are putting in the right effort, and thanks to the guidance of the scriptures, we will correct ourselves. The scriptures will, it's like a self-correcting mode. You will know when you're becoming egoistic. The moment you're getting agitated, you fall back to the scriptures, you will know the answer. Keep listening, keep reading, keep listening, keep reading. You will get the answer. Each one of you are receiving the lecture differently, according to your nature. Something will make you, something really hits you hard. So a person may, see, now this is the line. A person may choose not to drink, but yet you may find him drinking. A person has chosen not to drink, but yet you may find him drinking because of the force of his past vast nature. But his present thought is not to drink. So if he keeps applying it, it's a question of time, he will actually control his desire for drinking. So because the past is strong, the effect is different. Past was yellow, effect was green. But present effort is blue. So focus on the present effort. Don't worry about the change. The example of the frog, the example of the titration, all this helps. I learned tennis when I was 10 years to 13 years of age. And my dream was to play the single-handed backhand flat. It's easy to slice. It's not very difficult to slice. But to play that flat backhand, it's a different skill. And many of the present generation, Federer and Wawrinka, they play that. Now, my dream was to play that flat backhand, but I could never do it. It always, under pressure, when the ball is hard, it goes to slice. Now I stopped playing tennis. I mean, I didn't get the opportunity to play tennis in 1993. For 13 years, I didn't touch it. I didn't touch a tennis racket. But I used to watch. Somehow I will, even in my academy life also, somehow I would make sure that I'm not missing the Grand Slams. The 4 Grand Slam, Australian, French, Wimbledon, and US Open. Somehow I'll make sure I'm watching the final or the semi-final. In 2006, when I held the tennis racket, I got a chance to play tennis again. The first shot I hit was a flat backhand. It's an incredible, incredible sort of realization. How much have I tried? That time it never happened. But somewhere, I don't know, some thought was there. Inside the thoughts, the moment the thoughts change, the action will change. So same thing on the spiritual path. It may seem see, one is you're not putting in effort, then don't expect change. But if you're sincerely doing your best and taking guidance, sometimes to do it on your own is a very, very dangerous thing. Unless you reach the ultimate, that's a different thing. But listen to somebody. Keep your, I've known people who do it on their own. You can't just, we treat spirituality with a lot of disrespect. You will not study medical books and become a doctor. And if you become a doctor by studying on your own books, I mean, patients should be careful with you. Nobody says, no, that I'll become a doctor by studying on my own. There is a meaning in self-study, but you got to be very, very careful. Similar, but we go to any bookstop, we pick up random books and we start studying, and this Upanishad says spiritual path is like walking on a razor's edge. That's why we say keep satsang. And if you find a guru, if you're living with that guru, then he takes care of you. Then you don't have to worry. Otherwise, we should be careful. Any time there is some insecurity, any agitation, surrender. Be with people who are also on the same path. They will see it easily. We are very objective with other people's mistakes. To sit down when you're not qualified and do it on your own, that is a very, very dangerous path. So put in the right effort. If you are putting in the right effort, change will happen. No ounce of effort will go wasted. Result may not come. So when the result doesn't come, don't get disillusioned or frustrated. Keep putting in effort in the right direction. Have that patience and perseverance. It will change. The colorless liquid will become colored. Okay. Right. Anybody has any question? Stopping till you have gained that wisdom. Okay, we'll end with the prayer. Namada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hari Om, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prakash. Thank you, Hari.
Thank you.
Who is Samsung? Samsung SM9. Hari Om Amma. Hari Om everyone. Hari Om Krishna ji.